in.
Bridgman,
That's what they were saying.
That's right. That's right. They did say that. They thought it was the greatest transfer. Big Duffy was 10 in a row. That was it. It was all, you know. He's wanting back to Brighton. He's going back in January. Total implosion.
£2 million.
Yes.
Can I come in, Ox?
On you go, Bob, yeah?
I'll tell you what I think about them. I think that half their squad is now a spent force. I may be wrong. I mean, there's more than half a season to go, but I think half their squad's now a spent force. Brown, Roderick, I don't need to tell you now, you know them all. I think so. Combined with a load of bad signings. Goalkeepers never hacked it. That Ayete's never hacked it. The Polish boys never hacked it. And I think with one side with the signings all coming up to scratch, and the other half of the mainstay of their team, I think they're past their best. Might prove me wrong. They are Celtic at the end of the day, but I think it's a combination of that. Plus, they had a wage bill. They're a wage bill of 66 million quid. 66 million quid. And that's a lot of money, guys, for to play in Scotland. And they go on about the advocate era. And I agree with you, Bridgman. I think they might be close to, keep them really, and they've got a history, keep them a tight rein on the purse strings. So that's my opinion on them.
All right, okay, enough about them, eh? Can we agree?
Absolutely, I agree. Absolutely.
Unless you want to go.
Can I chop in for a quick second?
No, enough about them. Enough about them.
All right.
Enough.
Okay. All right.
Enough. Enough.
Can we talk about Jim Baxter,
show,
please?
guys, come on. Let's talk about the Rangers.
Can we talk about Jim Baxter, please?
Jim Baxter. By the way, just for the record, you never got that in the quiz, GCB. You didn't.
I beg your pardon, I did. James Curran Baxter. Never forgot.
I think you look back, GCB.
My hero.
Bridgman.
Bridge is drinking, buddy.
Is he there? Bridge?
Is that, pal?
Yeah, we check the archives.
No, I'm not checking the archives. James Curran Baxter, you better believe it.
Right, so
my hero.
We've had Linda's team. We got. I think Dave gave us his team.
I never heard everybody's team. Was there any close to my team?
No.
You've not heard anybody's team because the only person that's gave their team is you and Linda.
All right. I didn't listen to the first half of the show.
Listen, see when you turned up at school late, you had to miss some of that information, mate. Yeah. So sit in the corner and just listen.
That's you told Bob.
Right, listen. We've been joined.
It's Dave who's talking.
Oh, sorry, Dave. Sorry, pal.
Dave, we've been joined by a very, very wise Rangers supporter. And he's going to come in and he's going to enthuse us all. But he's also going to give us his time for tomorrow night. Evening, Robert.
Evening, Ops, and evening, everyone in the panel. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Thank you very much, Bridge. Hi, evening, lovely Linda. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be on Rangers Radio. But first of all, can I say, well said there a couple of minutes ago, Ops, let's stop talking about them and talk about the glorious Glasgow Rangers, the glorious Steven Gerrard, and this record he's got in Europe. I don't know if any of you's noticed tonight, that Midtjylland who we glubbed, was it 7-3 in aggregate, held a very strong Liverpool team to a one each draw tonight. So what I'm saying there is that just shows you how far the last 2.5 years the Rangers have came under our great manager Steven Gerrard. And I'm confident tomorrow night he'll put out a strong team, because I'll tell you what, Oaks, I've had this wee knot in my stomach since the night in Lisbon when we threw away a 3-1 lead when we Kenty should have made it 4-1 and they get the 2 late goals. And fair dues to them, they probably did deserve the 2 each draw at Ibrox. But I've had this wee knot in my stomach. We should have been out of sight in this group by now. So I want to win this group tomorrow night because it is prestigious. We don't go for second best. The Rangers, all my life, it's always been number one. Win with the Rangers. So see all this rubbish people go, oh, Europe doesn't matter, this cup doesn't matter, that cup. It's all about the league. Yes, we know how important the league is to win 55 this season. But every competition the Rangers play in, I want us to win. And that'll bring me nicely to my team tomorrow night, Ox. I think he'll stick with Alan McGregor, Captain James Tavernier, Bomber Barisic, Connor Golston, Big Balogun, And I think obviously he's told his Zinger's playing, so I think he will rest Sir Stephen. But if I had my way, I'd play Sir Stephen. But I think he'll probably rest him. And then I'm going to go with Scotty Arfield, Glenn Kamara, Kemar Roof, Ryan Kent, and the Buffalo Soldiers got to play, because this is where he's likely to turn it on tomorrow night, Alfredo Morelos. There's my team.
All right, mate. I like it. I'm going to come back to you, Robert, but we can join with Kilmarnock. Obviously, Kilmarnock's where he is. He might have some updates on the riots. How are we doing, Kilmarnock?
Good evening, lads.
How are we doing, Kilmarnock? All right, mate. No, he's lost. We've lost him.
No, he's there.
He's on mute.
Oh,
He's Bridge man.
He is on mute. Come on, Kilmarnock. Come off mute.
All right.
Oh dear.
Well,
His wife's hitting him. His wife's hitting him.
Aye, maybe she is. He's not usually allowed on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. Robert, I'm loving your enthusiasm. We love when you call in your passion for the club. Just if you showed it a bit more, you'd be a lot better.
Oh, brilliant. You don't worry about it. I've got my colours pinned on my chest right now.
We know that, Robert.
Good for you, Robert.
I'll tell you now, me and Big Stevie will be picking you up with that Hummer when 55 comes. You'll be in.
Oh mate, that would just make my life complete. I could go to heaven and rest in peace quite happily if that happens.
By the way, after that week we're going to have, you might be going straight there, are you?
Well, that's what I was thinking myself.
Kilmarnock's back with us. Kilmarnock.
All right, lads.
Hi, Kilmarnock. How are you doing?
He's went on mute again. Kilmarnock, what are you doing?
Ox, I'm going to sign out, mate. I'm going to have to go. Thank you, everybody.
Cheers,
Good luck to the Rangers tomorrow.
See you later.
And
Bob. Good night, pal.
Bye, brilliant as usual. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Brilliant. Right. Wonders gave us his team. Roberts gave us his. Over the wise man for the East gave us his. Kenny, which you said free hit tomorrow night, so you picked the team. Kenny's picked the team. Give us a team.
My team tomorrow night, I'm going to make a few changes. You hinted at a few changes, not a couple. So I'm going to go for Bassey at left back. In midfield, there'll be no Zingo's playing right. Midfield will be Zingo, Arfield and Kamara. Up front, I see Kent playing, Morelos on the bench, Iffin and Roof.
Okay, interesting team. Right, Kilmarnock, this is our last chance. You back with us?
Last chance lottery. Am I here? Am I live?
Keep your own mute. Stop pressing the button.
There's a delayed reaction to this stupid phone, isn't there? I'll need to get a proper headset with a mic button,
It's about
mute button.
time you get rid of that Nokia, mate.
Aye.
What's on your mind, bruh?
I'm just phoning to give my team as well.
Okay, I'm listening intently.
I think Big John in the back, Big McLaughlin, he'll get a wee shot of Europe. He probably deserves it as well with his past performances. As much as McGregor will probably be raging, but I think he understands that he needs a shot at the big time as well. Standard back four, I think he will play Barisic after resting him last week as well, unless he's got a wee knock that we don't know about. But I think it would be just a standard back four with Balogun, obviously, and Tav and I said Barisic and Golson. The midfield.
You think there's any chance, Kilmarnock? Any chance that Barisic could play and he could rest Balogun and all because of his age and the game's coming up and play Big Bassey?
I know he tried that, didn't he, last week? But no, I don't think so. I think he will.
All right, okay.
Stick with the same four. Midfield, obviously Zingu's in. I think it'll be Kamara. And I think it will either be. I'm thinking about Aribo, but I know Arfield will be choking it a bit to play as well. So the only one I might get wrong, I think, is maybe between Arfield and Aribo, and I'd like to think Aribo will get his chance there as well. And the front three, again, just I think Kent will play, and who else have we got up the front? It might come in for Morelos, but I think Morelos will be choking it a bit to get that to get a goal. So I think we will play Morelos, and I'm hoping he's not going to start Barker. He does that, doesn't he? He likes to throw him in as well. But I hope he's not going to start him. And Roof.
How many players have we played tomorrow? You've named 20.
That's 11. That's 11, and a couple of maybes.
How many maybes?
Listen, we get 5 subs. He's a break.
Use your 1 to 11 quickly. Go on.
Okay. McLaughlin, Barisic, Balogun, Golson, Tav, Aribo, Kamara, who else did I say? Zungu's in. Kent, Morelos and Roof.
Oh, I like that team.
And I think it might be bluffing. Just what I think it was Big David was saying that, or Bob G.
You never know, mate. You never know.
I think he's bluffing as well, mate. I think he's bluffing with the old I'm going to make a lot of changes.
All right, Talking about bluffers, we've been joined by Blue Star. Evening, Blue Star.
Evening, Ox. Evening, Linda. Evening, Bridge. Evening,
Blue Star.
Hi, Blue Star.
Aye, I'm fine. I had much a struggle with my mother, and that's why I've not been on much. But I'm always listening in.
You must be in
just like
cheering you up a bit.
Carry on, Ox.
The Rangers must
this is it. Oh, very much so, very much so. Just on about the team for tomorrow, Ox. I think he might. I don't think he'll not make wholesale changes. Definitely no. But I think I would rest Morelos for a game, and I would play the big guy in. I don't think he's been getting enough game time, to be honest. Certainly, he's brought Roof in now, and he's showed that he can do. I actually quite like the look of the big guy. He's fast on his feet for a big tall man, and he certainly can hit. He's good in the air, so I would like to see Itten getting a start. On the rest, the way they're playing, you just can't fault them. They're relentless, and the thing I'd like to keep going, Ox. I'm not saying we know we've already qualified, granted, but I think topping the group would be a massive, massive statement insofar as not just the fact that we've not won any trophy yet, but see the confidence thing. The confidence thing, as we all know, MD's played football, is massive. It's absolutely massive, because even if you have a bit of an off game, if the rest of your teammates have got you've got confidence in them, that breeds it back out of you, you know. So if all things being equal, I would love to try and get us to try and keep winning. And I know we only need to match Benfica's result and we stay top. So I think at all costs, Gerard's been through this many, many, many times as a player. He knows how much the confidence thing matters. And the one big, massive positive for me so far, guys, is see any time we have went a goal behind, if you've noticed how quick it is, it's as if we go up a gear to get back that ball as quick as. We play our own system, we play our own way, but the goals have been coming, and I'm just loving the fact that we're scoring goals. And we all know goals win games, but recently we're not settling for the one. We keep going, we keep playing away. Even if we're passing the ball in the midfield, we're still punching through balls. And like Linda and I think it was Big Thingy there that was on. I would like to see Hadji getting a game on all. I know what you think, him, but see in Europe, I genuinely think he's been one of our better performers in Europe. I really do. I think the wee guy that's somewhere, because I still think he's a bit lightweight in our league. But I think in Europe the wee guy's great at pushing balls through. I do.
It's a different game. Gary, do you think there's any chance we'll see Hadji tomorrow night, mate?
Thanks for bringing me in there, Ox. I've just written down my starting 11, and
give us it. See if you can do.
So I think John McLaughlin might get the nod. As the game is important, but he is a more than capable keeper. So I think he'll get the nod to come in and get a wee European cap under his belt. I think Borna will play, because I think the club need to put players in the shop window. I know people won't like me saying that, but these players will be getting moved on in the summer, and they're top dollar for them. And the only way they can secure top dollar for them is they're playing in European games. So Bournemouth starts for me, even though Bassey would benefit. And I think it's Balogun, Golson and Tav at the back. Zungu's obviously starting, as we know. I think Aribo will play alongside him. And then I'd play Hadji just in front of them, just to try and open up the front door. I think Kent starts, and the reason I think that is because to play boys like Hadji who've been struggling for form, etc., I think you need continuity there with boys who, first team starts, basically, guys who are regulars. So I think Kent starts on the left. I'd play Roof up front and Itten on the right.
All right, Robert, you gave us our team. No, it's great about where we are this now, and I think everybody's agreed. We've got a squad, maybe, I don't know, 18, maybe 20 players, 2 goalies. We've got young Bassey covering a couple of positions. Obviously, Herlander's out. Midfield, Jack's out. We've still got another 5 midfielders there. You're picking 3 for 2. Up front, Roof's come in. Morelos might not play. Everybody, some people want to see the boy Itten given a chance. We've got the young boy Hadji. We've got about maybe 18 players. Doesn't matter what 11 we pick. What a job our recruitment staff have done and the coaching staff. Robert?
Definitely, and see what fills my heart with joy as a Rangers fan. You can go back to about maybe 3 years ago, and you could say to yourself, who could we sell to make half decent money? Probably nobody. And look at us now 3 years down the line, and you were talking about it the other week here on Rangers Radio. You valued our squad at 170 million, and Dave King said 200 million. That fills my heart with joy that we've got guys in our team worth 10 million, 20 million. And see, the thing is, and touching on something Gary said there, and Gary, I agree with you, of course, we've got to balance the books, and somebody will probably go in the summer, and I personally think it'll be Alfredo. I'm hoping it's no Borma, and I'm hoping it's no Big Golston or Glenn Kamara, because why would you want to go to a Brighton or a West Ham when you could have the possibility of playing in the Champions League? And if we could get into the Champions League next year and guarantee that 40 million, we don't really have to sell many players, maybe one, because you've got to keep that nucleus of your team. You don't want to be selling Golson or Tavernier, the pillars of your team. You want to be keeping them, to be challenging for another title and to possibly get in the Champions League. And if you can get in there and get that £40 million, well, I would say you don't need to sell 2 or 3 players, maybe one player. But you know what? It just fills my heart with joy that we've got players now that are worth absolutely between 10 and 20 million. And see, if you did in that Champions League, see that £10 million player, he becomes a £20 million player. See that £20 million player, he becomes a £30 million player. And that's the way ahead.
Aye,
well said there, by the way, Oxley. That was well said, Robert. Well said.
I think I've got to agree with Robert there as well. We might only need to get rid of one player, and it could be anything between Morelos, Barisic, or Kamara. And one of these 3, I think, would balance the books for that.
Can't come in there, Oxley.
Wait a minute, Bob. Just wait a minute. When's your time? Let them.
Dave.
Oh, sorry, Dave. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
I've been called Bob a few times, but do you know what I mean?
I keep doing it.
You go, Dominic. Listen, mate, I've got a simple philosophy before you see if somebody chaps the door and they say, Gaffer, I don't know, Portov come in and they want 15 million for me and I want to go. Let them go.
Yeah. If they don't want to be there and they're looking elsewhere, then...
Well, please come and go, Dominic, yeah?
Yep. Don't let the door hit you never get. That's it, isn't it?
Aye.
And Rox, if I can come in there, that's the only way you would let them go. If it's an offer you cannot refuse, as you say, if somebody comes in and says, Borna Barisic will give you £20 million, and Rangers might say, well, do you know what, we could maybe get 25 million or 30 million we get in the Champions League room, but Borna might say, I want to go down to that team in England that's going to treble my wages. Then you can't stop him. But all I'm saying is, I've got a feeling the one player we will sell in the summer will be Alfredo, and I love the Alfredo with bits, but I think it's time Alfredo did maybe move on, because I think he's looking for that next move, and that's just my opinion.
Well, it looks as if we might be signing as a replacement. We'll go to Big Dave and then we'll go to Linda.
No, I was just going to say I agree with Robert. I'm like, no, I want to keep all our players if possible, no sell anybody, but I know realistically you've got to balance the books, and obviously we've no Celtic player for over what? I think the biggest turnover we've had was Windass, wasn't it? The last player was sold, wasn't it? $2.5 million. So, so I mean, I realise come the summer, you're going to have to sell a player or two. And I think, like Robert, it'll be Morelos, and possibly, if we had to sell someone else, I would, if we had to, which I didn't want to, but I would sell Barisic and Morelos, because I know you've got the replacement for Barisic there already, and then keep the rest. You've got the nucleus of the side still there. Do you know what I mean?
Let's go wait for this selling. We've got a big game tomorrow night, Linda. How important is it for us as a club, this European stage? You've got some stats for us, haven't you?
Yeah, you want his record in Europe, or do you want the...
Oh, I'd rather have his record than Bridges' Christmas album when it comes out.
Well, Gerrard's record, I think, is overall, we've played 40 games under Gerrard. We've won 21, drew 14 and lost. We've only lost 5 games. And I think I read somewhere today that Gerrard has won more coefficient points in his 3 years than a certain manager did previously over the other side of the city. Is that the Leicester
manager you're talking about?
What's that?
Is that the Leicester manager you're talking about?
Yes.
The tranny man.
So there you go, Ox. That was a stat I didn't realise that it existed.
That poor bear's going to kill you at the Christmas night. Oh, by the way, did you all get your emails about the Christmas night out?
I got them, aye. Yep, brilliant.
What else get theirs?
Is it at Bridges' house?
Bridges' Palace.
What we're doing is we're trying to make a night that Mrs. Bridge goes to the bingo so we can all appear.
So is that right then? I know Stato's Jacob was in a shaky nail, but that's kind of confirmed it tonight with Linda being the new...
Oh, she's blasted him out the water. Stato stole the show last night, but I'll let you into that secret maybe one other night. Stato, I'm after him.
There's only one Stato, though, man.
Gary?
Aye.
Gary from Peckham might have been Stato.
It is some record, Ox, isn't it? And we probably don't get the credit, I don't think, for it. He certainly doesn't. You know, it's absolutely magnificent.
Robert, Scottish football, the press in Scotland should be jumping up and down and shouting that for the rooftops.
Oh, listen, you know that, I know that, every Rangers fans know that, but they're not going to be, because they'll just find a way to kick us down and all that, do you know what I mean? And they'll hit you with, I know we don't like to talk about how they were doing it for years, and Rangers have only started doing it for the last couple of years, but Rangers' record in Europe's been phenomenal. So, do you know what? I don't really care about the rest of Scotland, you know, credit. It doesn't bother me, because you know what? I get a wee kick out it when they do kick us down, because that just makes us come back harder and even better. And that's the way it's always been for the Rangers 148 years. Do you know what I mean? As the wee song says, no one likes us, we don't care. And do you know what? I'll say, bring it on. That's all I say to that. I don't care that people don't like us. Well, I mean people in Scotland, because I know we're respected down in England, and they're not respected throughout Europe.
Kenny, it's a bit of a start. Gerrard's done some job for a low base in Europe, hasn't
he? He certainly has, but another wee thing about this game tomorrow night. This game's worth £1 million tomorrow night.
Aye.
It's a £1 million game. If they win it, £1 million. For where we are, you know, £1 million, you know. That's a lot of money. So that's why...
A lot of money to me and you, nothing to Bridgeman, but it's a lot of money.
So that's why...
What a shock.
Let's change.
You know, it's £1 million is... It's a lot of money to the Rangers right now, you know. And I don't actually, I'm not too sure how much they've earned so far, but 4 or 5 million, something like that. But £1 million payoff tomorrow night if they win that game, that's a lot of money. A long way. In the summertime, sorry, Ox, I think Alfie will go. And I think maybe Kamara. I hope they go.
If they want to go, they go. Players are always saying that. Listen,
it's £50,000 we paid for Kamara. What are we going to get from him? Say a rest of it, maybe 10 million, right? I mean, that is some profit, you know. Barisic, right, if Barisic does go, right, we signed him for what, 2.5, was it? And you've got Bassey coming in, great left back substitute. So to me, that's the two players I would be looking at, Morelos and Kamara. If you can hold on to Barisic, brilliant.
I think players will come and go, but that, as long as it's done on Stevie G's terms.
We've got to, but at the end of the day, we've got to balance the books here. You have to think.
We have.
Last Friday night talking about it. We can't get back to you. We've got to balance the books. But the longer a European one goes, and tomorrow night, it's £1 million payoff this game.
Well, we get 500,000 for winning the group, and if you went and won tomorrow night, won 500,000 for qualifying. If we did win the group, you get an extra 500,000 for winning the group, and obviously roughly the same 500,000 if you win the game. And by the way, you never know. We might not have to win the game to win the group. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
Nah, I would suspect that Benfica will win. So.
You fancy Benfica, but you don't know. Maybe they'll say, "Oh, we don't care who we get," and maybe there's some player, But you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Can I come in on the Ox chair?
Yeah, when you go, Rich.
You were asking a question about earlier on tonight when you were saying what would be fair, either tomorrow, win tomorrow night, or a Dundee United victory against them. So as far as I'm concerned, based on what you just said there, which I had forgotten about, is it if indeed both teams drew tomorrow night, or both teams drew tomorrow night? Talking Benfica and Rangers, if they have the same score, we've won the league.
Yes,
no matter what it is.
Yes.
Cool.
We beat them head to head.
Can I answer it? And just quickly there, because I heard you talking about it earlier on, saying about what was the most important game in Bridgeman says tomorrow night. And I can see where Bridgeman's coming from. And you were asked the question, well, what would you rather have, a win tomorrow or Sunday? And everybody, as we're saying, Sunday. Well, my answer to that is, I'm a greedy Rangers fan. I want 6 points, 3 tomorrow and 3 on Sunday. So that's my answer to that.
Mm-hmm. The question I originally asked Prince Robert was, is it the biggest game this week tomorrow night? And I don't know if it is.
No. If we hadn't qualified, then I would agree it's the biggest thing. But can I say just one other thing, in touching on that subject is, and you best of Yorks, you've been saying it on Rangers Radio here for the last couple of months. See, the only thing that will beat Rangers tomorrow, and the only thing that will beat the Glasgow Rangers on Sunday is the Glasgow Rangers themselves. Because if the Glasgow Rangers turn up tomorrow on Sunday, there's only one winner.
Absolutely. We're a good side, Robert. Kenny, in you come, mate? And then we'll go to Gary.
Actually, Robert, I was actually going to say, they turn up. To me, it's not the biggest game of the week, Even though the money, the league has got to be the priority, It's definitely the priority, 3 points. I'd rather draw the game tomorrow night and win it Sunday. That's where I'm.
But by the way, when the game starts, I want to win it tomorrow night.
We want it, of course, we all want it. But if we do the game tomorrow night, I'm going to be too disappointed, We're undefeated in Europe. We've done brilliant in Europe. But Sunday, Dundee United, a team that I really despise, we all do, and I want to really hammer them, I do every team in Scotland, actually, But to me, the biggest game of the week, we've qualified. It's a shot to nothing, as I said at the start of my conversation tonight. Tomorrow night, go for it. They win it, brilliant. We don't, but hopefully we don't get beat. But Sunday, it's the league.
Gary, and we come, mate?
I think it's a big game. The biggest game this week, I think it is. The next game, momentum. And if you go and do the business, finish top of the league, you give yourself the chance of a more favourable draw because you'll be seeded. It's £1 million. It propels you into the second half of the season, as I said. So I think it says you just don't want any of the players having question marks. Why did we lose? We should have won that game. We should have done this. We could have done that. We could have got this draw. We could have. So there's a lot of coulda, woulda, couldas if we don't get the result that we need. So yeah, I'd say it's the biggest game this week. And then, you know what? As soon as Thursday night at 10 o'clock, Dundee United becomes the biggest game of the week. Even though it's in the same week.
Remember,
Remember,
it's a 5 to 6 kick-off, everybody, tomorrow night, yeah?
Yeah.
Aye. Oxford, can I come on?
Just wait a minute, Dave, I'll come right back to you. Bridgeman, that means you'll need to organise your naps and your tea differently tomorrow.
Just, Oxford, can I say, did anybody watch or listen to the podcast with Four Lads, podcast with Dave King?
We did, mate. We touched on it briefly, but I'm sure
I'm not going to
we'll spend a full night on that, yeah?
I'm not going to get dragged into it, but I think we're going to have to sell 2 or 3 players just because of the funding gap with money owed and all that. That's my point.
No, don't worry about that, mate. Bridgeman's looking down the sofa as we speak. Big Dave, when you come.
No, I disagree with that because I think they're banking on getting into the Champions League. They get into the Champions League, that money will cover that. They'll maybe have to sell 1 player, maybe 2 at the most, but the money for the Champions League, if they get in there, that you're guaranteed minimum 30 million, remember. Minimum. But anyway, as we said last Sunday, Oxford, what did I say to you on Sunday? Beat St Johnstone, beat Ross County, and that puts massive pressure onto them. Come St Johnstone, look what happened. To do one each.
We beat Dundee United, and what happens?
16.
That's what I'm saying. We beat Dundee United. I think the next 4 or 5 games we play before them. So we put massive pressure on them if we just keep winning. Just keep winning our games, and then the pressure ranks up on them exponentially. You know what I mean?
Because the following weekend, I think we play in the Saturday
Cup game against St Mirren.
That's on the Wednesday night, Bridge.
Yeah.
That's the Wednesday. But the next 4 league games, we play before them. Every game, we play before them.
We play on the Saturday, Bridge, and they play on the Sunday. Yeah.
Cool.
And the
Magic.
Cup. So, look, if we have another beautiful Sunday, Linda, and they drop 2 and we could be 15 points clear in the following weekend, 18 points clear. I don't know if I can take any more right up.
Absolutely.
You just call the week by New Year.
I mean, Glasgow will be skint or a post on overtime.
The thing is, the difference this season is that we're not chasing them. You know, they're chasing us. We're the ones in the past couple of seasons that we've had to go and win games after they've played before us. So that's why it is massively important that we win the game on Sunday for sure. Then the pressure's right back on them. And I think it's really pivotal that the fact that we're not chasing this time. Yes, there's an added pressure when you're top of the league and trying to stay there. But this is the first time we've really had this for years. And even it's the first time under Steven Gerrard. So this is so different. And that's probably why the implosion's happened as well. It's what we're doing that's putting the pressure on them.
Wisely.
Hang on.
Right, Robert, I want to ask you. I want to ask Robert this, right? You know, I'll go around the rest of these before we go. Robert, we've got a good side, and we know that we've got a good footballing side, and I've answered a lot of questions. I think somebody pointed out, I think it was Domarnock, who said we've been behind and we've fought back and showed when we've lost. No, it was both stars. Sorry, we've lost a couple of goals and we've clawed it back. Do you now think for the first time in a long, long time, teams are coming and they're fearful about playing our team because they know if they open up, they'll get destroyed, and if they sit back, they might still get destroyed. You think we've got in teams' heads now?
Definitely, and that's the thing about playing in Europe. But that's what I like about playing in Europe. Teams will have a go at you, and you know what I mean. I mean, the day open up, Rangers. That's why I love watching the Rangers, especially in Europe, because it's not this 10 men behind the ball like Kilmarnock and your St Mirrens and all that. Teams will have when they have a go. That's when we play our best football. So yes, 100%. But can I just say one thing before you finish up, Ox? And I hope I get the word right. To all my fellow Rangers fans out there, buckle up, guys, buckle up, get your seatbelt tight for tomorrow night, because we're on that Steven Gerrard Concorde. We've got that world icon manager, and I predict tomorrow Rangers will win 3-1, and I predict looking ahead we'll go on and we'll win comfortably on Sunday. So buckle up, the Rangers fans. We're on that Steven Gerrard Concorde, and you know what? It's so good right now being a Rangers fan, as it always has been 55 years in my life.
Yeah. Keep it brief, Kenny. We go in teams' heads for the first time in a long time.
Definitely. I mean, you see this Sunday, right, Ross County game, for instance, at one point, Ross County had 6 along the back, 6 and 4. You know, they didn't know how to play. Rangers played them, game of chess, killer pass, Davis, back, ball in net. Teams are scared of Rangers, there's no doubt about it. You know?
Gary,
you know,
briefly, mate, and then Dave.
Yeah, no, I think I'm predicting a 2-0 win tomorrow night.
I love this. I love it. Big Dave.
I'll go with that. I think 2-0 as well. Yeah, definitely. Oxtail, Fortress Ibrox again, in it as well. We're Fortress anywhere actually than now. But yeah, we're definitely going to. A lot of the teams are coming to play us and they're beat before they probably start, you know. And as I say, get the league wrapped up by January, and we could, us Bears could go and hibernate, eh?
I don't know how you can call it Fortress Ibrox. There's no fences running on ground.
And there's no statues that should be poked in as well.
Yeah, I'll go for 2-0. And see, I don't think it's a case that we're in their heads. I think Stevie Gerrard's installed some belief in our team, and we're not fragile anymore, and the whole team's got confidence. I think that's what's been built up, and that's the difference, psychology-wise.
Linda, and then Bridgeman. Linda?
Yeah, they don't know how to play against us now. The low block isn't even working because we've sorted that out and we know how to beat that. And I'm going for 4-1 to Rangers tomorrow night.
Brilliant, yes.
Bridgeman, over to you, mate. We've reached that time.
Right, what can I say? What a fantastic night again. Well done, Oxtail. Absolutely brilliant. And well done, Linda and the boys in the techie side of things, and everybody that's phoned in. Can I just say this? Tomorrow night, biggest game of Rangers history. Biggest game. Win it. You'll be heroes all over the world. Seriously, all over the world. To all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, murder this mob tomorrow night and do it. Please, keep it going for the Rangers, everybody. Keep it going.
First of all, all the callers tonight on the phone, thanks very much. I'm not going to name you, too many to name, but thanks very much. A, for the way you conducted yourself, and B, for some of the great questions. Been a pleasure. To Kilmarnock, Bridgeman and Linda, thanks very much for joining us, particularly Linda and Bridgeman on the panel. To the boys in the technical, Fox and Old School Blue, great work as usual. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back at our normal time between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. And we will be in the last 32 of Europa League. Take it away, Old School Blue.
You guys.
From Argyle, so young, to Glasgow City, they come, seeking fortune and a new way of life. How could they know ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. So hoist up your Rangers flags, sing with your heart and voice, celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all. Four lads team. They had no money, no kin, not even a bomb. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, but still going strong. 54 titles, we're still going strong.